And welcome here, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pictou County Wellness Center for the first game in the playoffs between the Weeks and the Hunters. Puck drop here for the first period is about to be underway. Both teams start their playoff campaign here. And here we go. Weeks will win it back early. Burcham moving it over. It's played up. Move the Kid, and Kid will try and walk in. That'll get called down for offside. The draw will be just outside the Hunter zone here. Weeks win it back. Burcham crossing red. He'll dump it in. Rims around the boards. Conlon trying to get there. Trying to keep it in at the line. But Baldwin pushes it through, and Beliveau now chasing. Weeks grabbing that one. It's Kid going the other way now. Trying to shake the defender off of him. He'll get shut down. Baldwin trying to bring it into the Weeks zone now. It's turned over. Back to Kid. He'll get it. Or he'll get it hit off him, excuse me. Move back. Hunters with possession. Ludi looking for an option, throws it off the boards, and he'll chase after it and dump it in. Back around the Weeks net. Baldwin battling for it. Sim has him against the boards, and they'll get it turned over. Kept in at the line. Swain grabbing it. He'll play it out. A nice behind the back pass to Sim. He'll walk in now. Ewan Sim with a shot, and it's gloved up. Shagnesi, a little pushing and shoving behind the net there. Draw here in the Hunters zone. Weeks looking to set something up early. One back by the Hunters, excuse me. Up to the line, they'll start to bring it out now as Martin throws that around. Tanner grabbing it, trying to get some help from Sullivan. Sullivan in the corner. He'll move it up the boards to Swain. Swain's hit off that one. In comes Frazier to pick it up. Frazier stretch pass to Swain across the red line. Swain will try and bring it in. Ludi keeps him to the boards. Hunters in possession now. As they try and move this one out, that pass goes a little wonky. So Sullivan will have to come back for it. Throws it into the open ice. Swain chasing. Played back around to Sullivan. Sullivan getting there, moves it to Frazier. Frazier going the other way now, crossing red, and he'll dump it in. As the Hunters pick it up. Boudreau trying to make a pass over. Goes wide, and that'll be an icing against the Hunters. So for this playoff series, Weeks versus the Hunters, the best of 5. So essentially the first team to 3 wins will move on to the second round. Weeks coming in as the 3rd seed. Hunters coming in as the 6th seed. As that's one back by the Weeks. Williams trying to play it back in. But the Hunters will grab it, and they'll start to move it out. It's dumped in by Cagliata around the back of the net now. McKenzie battling for it, as well as White. Urquhart getting it. He'll try and throw it back behind the net, but Williams will be there. Moves it to McIntosh. McIntosh loses his footing on that play. But it's turned back over. White pushing for it. It goes back. McKenzie dangling his way through the neutral. He'll bring it across blue and dump it in on the backhand. Behind the net now. Hunters in possession. Stretch pass up to Boudreau, but it's intercepted there and dumped back in by McKenzie. If you'll notice, the Weeks all have fresh new matching white cages out here for the playoffs. As McCachran goes into the corner battling for it, Green will come out with it. Weeks trying to move things out of the neutral here. They'll get it over. It's in for Green. Green trying to get a backhand pass to Frazier, and it hits the skate of the defender. It's back for Frazier, however. Frazier up the boards, and McCachran wasn't there. So it'll go back into the week's end. Sorhando with the net to make a play. Thrown down to Frazier in the neutral. Frazier making a pass over to Bircham. Bircham dump it in on the boards. Frazier chasing. It's moved out. White trying to get it out. Kept in by Kidd. Kidd will turn things around. He's got Frazier in front. And a big save there from Shagnesi. Another shot. Sullivan. That one goes high and into the netting. So the draw here will be in the Hunters zone. And Kidd is going to get kicked out of the draw here, perhaps. Nope, he'll stay in. Ref checking things out on the left wing there. And we're good to go. Nope, Kidd will get chucked out. Conlon, the newest addition to the week's roster, will come in. Boudreau playing it around the back of the boards. Cluett trying to play it up to the line. It's kept in by Tanner. Moved around, hits the ref's skate a couple times there. Conlon with it. He'll move it up to the line. Thrown in by Tanner in front for Croft, who's trying to play it in front. Kidd couldn't get there in time. They'll battle for it at the boards. Kept in by Sullivan. He takes a shot on net. Hunters in possession. In the corner now. Boudreau trying to move it out, or Beliveau, excuse me. Moved around, Cluett breaking it out for the Hunters, and he'll dump it in across the red line. Sullivan getting back, moving it to Conlon. Conlon moving it to Kidd. Kidd making his way into the Hunter zone. He's hit off the possession there. Still battling for it is Croft, using the big shoulder there to try and keep possession. Croft puts it down in low. Conlon playing in front, and that one is intercepted. A good play there by Ludi. Now the Hunters going the other way. 2-on-2. Trying to bring it in. Cohen Tanner lays the body and regains possession. McKenzie trying to move it out. It's kept in by Ludi. Back around. Morris in the corner looking for a pass. Thrown in deep. Morris with a opportunity there as he fans on the shot. He'll throw it into the open ice. And McKenzie picking it up in his own zone. He'll break it out now. Nicholas McKenzie breaking his way in. Urquhart gets the stick in from behind and breaks that out of his hands. Ewan Sim now picking it up. Sims into the slot. He'll play it over. And it's in! The weak score! What a goal! Goes off the defender's leg as Frazier tries to make a pass over. And that one sneaks in past. The Weeks go up 1-0 here with the first goal of the playoffs. What a fluke of a goal. Just sneaks past O'Shaughnessy. As he couldn't get back in time, was expecting the post-to-post play. Weeks up by 1. Williams trying to move it. Frazier's there. He'll throw it up high and in. In the corner now, Weeks trying to regain possession. Hunters. Martin in there. Frazier playing it over. McKenzie at the line. He'll walk in, makes a pass back to Williams with a shot. That one's tipped up high and into the netting. And Frazier is going to receive a couple shoves there from the Hunters defense. Draw here in the Hunters zone. McIntosh looking to play this one back. We're going to get a stoppage here. The ref having a talk with the Weeks bench. Not sure if that was over. Now having a talk with the Hunters bench. And we'll play on. McIntosh taking the draw here against Baldwin. Baldwin will win it back. Played up. Hunters, trying to break this one out, and they will, as that goes down the length of the ice, and that'll be an icing. Weeks doing a good job of keeping the pressure up here. Shots 5-0 thus far for the Weeks. So they try and win it back there. McCackern wasn't there in time. Puck was a little too far to the right. He'll play it over to Bertram in his own zone, and that goes down the length of the ice. Hit a couple sticks, so no icing. O'Shaughnessy out of the net to make a play. Up to Beliveau. Beliveau throws it into the open ice. Baldwin trying to get there. It's played back down. Green trying to lay the body. Back out. McCackern turns it over to Beliveau. He's in a shot, and he scores! The Hunters tie things up with a quick response. Beliveau walks into the slot and snipes it right past Serhando on a quick wrister. First shot of the game for the Hunters. They went ahead and tied things up. Can't get better than that. Draw here at center. Battle for it at the dot. Green will come out with it. Crossing blue. He'll bring it in. Morris is there. Green lays the body. It's back into the neutral. Sullivan crosses red. He'll dump it in. Played back around. Hunters trying to break out now. It's Boudreau. Tries to play it in. As Eisner picks it up, and he'll dump it into the Hunters' end. Plays it around the boards to Green. Green battling forward in the corner. He's going to get some help from Sim. It's up to the line for Sullivan. Sullivan to Tanner with a quick shot. Rebound's alive in front, and it's played out by White. Back around now, up at the line for Tanner. Another shot. Rebound. Eisner tries to bury that one in. A big save from O'Shaughnessy. Up at the line, Sullivan fires one far right as it's gloved up. Draw here in the Hunter zone again. Kidd taking it. He'll win that one back clean to Williams. Williams playing it over. McKenzie with a quick shot there. Goes off the shoulder of O'Shaughnessy. Down in deep. Croft battling for it. Trying to come out with it. He's getting some pressure from Ludi. Played around. Boudreau's getting his body in there as they go down into the corner. Conlon moving it to McKenzie. McKenzie will walk in, a shot there, blocked in front. He grabs his own rebound. Tries to play it over. Turned over to Urquhart. He's going the other way. Urquhart's in. A quick move there, and it's gloved up by Serhando with the big glove. What a save. And we'll get some words being exchanged by players. Tensions are high. Draw here in the weak zone. Another shot there from Cluett. That goes wide up to the line. Hunters keep it in. As that's dumped in behind Serhando. McCackern's there. In the corner now, Sim hitting to the boards. Moved out, Frazier racing after it. As it goes back for Swift, he'll move it. Back to Swift in his own zone. Swift making a stretch pass up to Baldwin, who sticks that one down into the corner. McCackern battling with them. Played back around up to the line. Frazier laying the body. Kept in by Beliveau. That goes high. Baldwin there trying to get it. Now Frazier the other way for the Weeks. He'll make a pass up. Swain trying to get there, but it's played back for Baldwin. Baldwin trying to stretch pass. Bertram gets back with a poke check. Gaining possession, a big hit there from Frazier and Sim onto Beliveau. Out of the net comes Sarhando. He'll make a play with it. And that's a stretch pass down to Swain. It's in his feet. He can't get that one. Hunters with possession in their own zone now. Taking a moment as they wait for their guys to get some fresh legs out there. It's up for McKnight. And that's going to be offside. The Hunters bench not happy about that one. So this draw will go back down just outside the Hunters zone. Draw here just outside. One back by the Weeks up to Sullivan. Sullivan crossing red, he'll dump it in. Down in the corner, battling for it. Morris is in there, Pugsley as well. Up to the line, Sullivan. That one goes in his feet, but he'll keep it in off the boards. Down in behind the net. McIntosh getting possession. That one gets caught up in the ref's feet. Pugsley moving it to the line for Sullivan. He'll play it back in for Pugsley. Pugsley walking off the boards with a shot there. Goes off the shoulder of O'Shaughnessy. And the Hunters will get it out to the neutral. And that'll be offside against the Weeks. We're after the 10-minute mark here. So the players will get a short minute break, and we'll be back in just a moment with more U18 playoffs on High Button Sports. And welcome back here, folks. After a short break, the players are back and ready to finish the second half of this first period. Shots 10-2. Things are tied up here as the Weeks had an early goal. A fluky one at that, but the Hunters come back and with their first shot of the game, tie things up. Weeks in possession. It's played in by Eisner. To the Hunters end. Ludi behind his own net trying to play it out, but Eisner's there to pick it up. In the corner battling, Urquhart. He'll make a couple hits and he'll come out with it, circling around his net. Urquhart, stretch pass up to Martin, goes into Williams' possession and he'll move it in. Green, over, a shot there and it goes off the outside of the net. Frazier almost burying his second of the game. Frazier regaining possession again. He'll curl around, he's got Eisner, another shot, rebounds alive. And it'll go out to the outside of the net, played in front. Green with it. And that one gets poked away into the corner. Boudreau racing to get there. Big hit at big collision, I should say, along the boards there. Kept in by McKenzie, or that one will sneak out. Williams back for it, moves it to McKenzie, and Williams lays the body there. McKenzie walking in now. Another shot, and it's gloved up. And Boudreau not happy about that hit, and he'll go to the box. So the first power play of the playoffs here for these two teams will go to the Weeks as they have an opportunity to regain the lead, I should say. As Boudreau heads to the box for two. I didn't catch what the call was there. But 2 minutes is the time on the clock. And that's how long the Weeks have to try and get something going here. Croft taking the draw. It's one back by the Hunters. Ludi in there trying to regain possession. Tanner at the line. Trying to play it back in. Tanner will play it off the boards for McKenzie as that one's thrown down the length of the ice. The Hunters will clear. Beliveau coming in fast, but Tanner gets there first. Played back around. Beliveau having a great penalty kill shift here early. As that's played out by the Weeks. Kidd moving in. It's off for McKenzie. McKenzie along the boards. He'll play it up to Tanner. Tanner at the line. Back to McKenzie. McKenzie trying to get out of the way of Ludi's. That's dropped to Kidd. Kidd circling his way around. He'll walk in wide. Going behind the net. Looking for an option here. Moves it to Tanner. Tanner down in for McKenzie, and that one's played away by Ludi. Move to Croft. Croft circling around. Looking for an option. He'll walk into the slot with a shot there. Blocked in front by Cluett. Kidd along the boards now, trying to pick up that rebound, and he will. Kidd. Skating. Looking for a shot, and that one's sticked away by Ludi. Beliveau will try and clear. It's kept in by Conlon. Conlon moving it to McKenzie. McKenzie at the line. Moves it to Kidd, and the 1T can't go off, but he'll still take a shot. Rebound almost bounces back in, and the refs blow the whistle there. The puck was out. They didn't catch that one. Just 35 seconds left here on the Weeks power play. They'll get some fresh legs out there. Fraser, Sim, and Swain, as well as Bircham and Williams on the line. Bodies go down on the face-off there. Bircham getting it, and he'll move it to Williams. Back to Bircham. Bircham to Williams, and he'll try and walk in. That pass was in his feet. Williams in the corner now. He'll move it to Fraser. Fraser skating back up to the line. He'll walk back in, moves it to Bircham. Bircham with a shot there, and it's covered up by O'Shaughnessy. And we'll get some pushing and shoving. .14 seconds left here on the Weeks power play. Draw here in the Hunters zone. Sim tries to win it back, and Fraser comes in to help, but it's thrown down. Urquhart racing in. A shot there, and a big pad save from Sorhando. On the short-handed shot from Urquhart. Williams back now in his own zone. We're back to even strength here as Sim throws it down for Fraser. Fraser walking in. He'll move it to Swain. Swain walking in. A backhand shot there, and a big pad save from O'Shaughnessy. Up to the line for Bircham. He'll take a shot, and it's gloved up, and we'll get a stoppage in play with 5:57 left on the clock for the first period. And of course, a little dancing after the whistle. What's playoff hockey without it? We'll line up just to the left of O'Shaughnessy here. White taking the draw for the Weeks against Urquhart. Urquhart will win it back. It's moved around for Swift. Swift moving it. Kalita trying to play it down the length of the ice. Sullivan's there. McIntosh loses the puck, so Urquhart throws it in. Regaining possession is the Weeks. McCachran playing it back for Sullivan. Sullivan breaking it out of his own zone, and it's tipped into the Hunters' end by McIntosh. Into the corner now. Pugsley getting it. He'll play it in front, and that one is broken up there by Baldwin as it goes back for McCachran in the neutral. Sullivan playing it up. Pugsley couldn't get that one on his take. So Swift will come back and move it out of the Hunters' zone. McCachran there once again. He'll play it back in. Hunters with a stretch pass up to Baldwin, who was just a couple feet offside. A nice stretch pass opportunity, however. So we'll go back down in to the Hunters' end. Shaughnessy, thus far standing on his head, had an unfortunate one slip past him. The first goal of the game. But not counting that. Playing a great game, a great first period in between the pipes for the Hunters. That's dumped back in, Boudreau behind his own net. He'll have a look for a passing option, moves it to Ludi. Ludi trying to play it up. That's intercepted by Sim, who will meet Urquhart in the neutral zone for a quick hit there as Ludi goes the other way. A quick pass over, and that one almost slips in off the pad of Sorhando, but he gets down and covers that one up under the glove. Both teams will get some fresh legs out. Now the draw here in the Weeks end, 4:44 left on the first period. One back by the Weeks, Williams picking it up behind his net. He'll move it. Played up by McKenzie to Croft. Croft walking in, trying to get it over to Kidd, but that's intercepted, and now Beliveau the other way. Beliveau walking in, he'll play back to Baldwin. Quick shot there, and it goes off the blocker of Sorhando. Conlon trying to poke it out, it's up for Kidd, and that one hits the ref's skate. And a big hit there, Boudreau and Kidd both go at it. McKenzie trying to lay the body. And it's back, Cluett trying to play it over to Baldwin. But Williams was there to intercept, but now here comes Beliveau. Belivau's hit off of it now. Kidd going the other way. He'll bring it in to the Hunters' end. A toe drag there. He'll walk in. It's poked up and it goes over the net off the crossbar. And we'll get a high stick call here. And a little bit of a stoppage in play. Things were getting intense. With 3:53 left on the first marker. Draw will be held in the neutral here, just outside the Hunters' end. Sim taking it for the Weeks against Urquhart. Urquhart winning it clean back to Worth. Worth racing after it. Worth in the corner, he'll play it. Trying to get it up, but Swain's there, moves it to Sullivan. A quick shot there, goes just wide. Frazier picking up the rebound, moves it in deep for Sim. It goes off his tape. Urquhart getting it. He'll try and move it up. Sim in the corner, and he gets a stick to the chin. Refs didn't see that one, and now the Hunters the other way. Martin dumping it in around Sullivan. Into the corner for McCachran. Now the Weeks grabbing it. Moved up to Sim. Sim and Frazier with McCachran trailing behind. It's moved to McCachran. He'll take a shot, and he's taken down. We're going to get a Hunters penalty here with just 3:13 left to go. Once again, Frazier being the target of some pushing, keeping his cool. Showing the discipline of this young Weeks team. So the Weeks will throw out the power play line with Conlon, Croft, and Kidd on forward. Tanner and McKenzie playing up at the line. As it's Boudreau in the box again. His second penalty of the game. Conlon holding Worth into the corner. Kidd and McKenzie in there trying to regain possession. Now battling for it. McKenzie plays it up. Kidd moving it to Tanner, who can't get there. The pass was a little wonky. Tanner moving back in the neutral now, trying to bring it back in for the Weeks. Kidd picking it up off Tanner. Kidd playing it in. Kidd's got some speed. He'll walk in a shot there, taken down off the stick by Urquhart. Kidd playing up to the line. Tanner keeps it in. Moves it to Conlon. Conlon down in deep. And that one's intercepted, and the Hunters will flip it up high and clear it. Sorhando out of the net. He'll backhand it over to McKenzie. McKenzie grabbing it. He'll try and bring it out now. Into the neutral, looking for an option. He'll decide to skate it through and dump it in behind the Hunters' net. Moved around to Tanner along the boards. Tanner. Williams back to Tanner. Tanner over to McKenzie along the left side. McKenzie with a shot there, and Urquhart with a big block and a clear. Ludi. Just 40 seconds left here on the Weeks power play. Hunters doing a great job of shutting them down. Frazier will dump it in. Played to Ludi, and Ludi clears it once again. Sorhando out of his net, looking for an option. He'll leave it behind for Burcham. Burcham playing it up to Swain. Swain to Frazier. Frazier will walk in. He's got Swain and Williams. He'll play it over, and can't get the pass there. It's just behind Williams. Burcham picks it up, however, at the line. Burcham making a play over to Sim. That one's intercepted and thrown down the length of the ice there. We're back to even strength. A little over a minute left here in the first as Morris tries to poke it back in off the stick of Burcham. Frazier, he'll get the backhand dump in. Sim in the corner, tries to play it in front, but Worth intercepts. Swift trying to break it out now, gets it up. Kalita moves it over. Back up to Kalita. He'll backhand it in some open ice. As that's played up, back to Frazier. Frazier trying to get it to White. That one flips over his stick. Hunters trying to play that one through. And we'll get an icing. .5 seconds left on the clock here. Things are held up at 1-1. Weeks win it back off the draw in the Hunter zone, but Worth coming in and regaining possession as he gets it out to the neutral. McKenzie's there. He'll play it in. Pugsley giving it off for White. Back to Pugsley, and he fans on the 1T. Puck's left behind. And White loses that one as it's poked away by Kalita. And now the Weeks with possession in their own zone. Williams moving it to McIntosh, who tips it in. Swift back to grab it. He'll move it to McIntosh with a quick shot there. Sticked away, and that'll be the end of the first period. McKenzie with a little bit of a late hit there, and now some pushing and shoving. Of course. And the rest has broken it up. So the teams will head to their respective locker rooms. As we finish up the first period, 1-1. Weeks took an early lead off a fluky goal that snuck past O'Shaughnessy. And then a quick response from the Hunters. As we stay at 1-1. Shots 15-4 for the Weeks. We'll be back in just a moment with the second period. This is U18 playoffs on High Button Sports. And welcome back here, folks, to the second period of this matchup between the Weeks and the Hunters. Things are tied up 1-1. So we head in to the second period. Shots 15-4. But the Hunters are shutting down the Weeks thus far on all their power play opportunities. Let's see if they can keep it up and get their first lead of the game as Swift dumps it in for the Hunters. Bertram in the corner battling for it with Beliveau. Cluett moving it up to the line. A big shot there as it goes wide. Worth trying to bang that one in. Another shot tipped high and he'll go over the net. As Bertram gains possession, he'll move it to Frazier with a nice pass to Conlon. Conlon moving through now. He'll take a shot and it's blocked in front by Swift. A big block there. Bertram another shot and it's blocked by Beliveau. McCachran back to try and play it through. Cluett picking it up. He'll take it into the Weeks end with a big shot that goes wide. Baldwin playing it around. Cluett moving up to the line. Blocked in front by Frazier. He'll get it to Conlon. Conlon's got some room. He'll walk in, and that is into the pads. Tries to sneak it through the 5-hole. O'Shaughnessy with another big save. Another shot from Sullivan. Kept in by Sullivan. He'll backhand it in for Sim. Ewan Sim skating up to the line. He'll take a shot blocked in front from Beliveau, and he'll throw it down the length of the ice. Tanner back in his own zone to pick it up. He'll move it. Sullivan backhands it, to Tanner. Tanner behind his own net. He'll try and play it up now. Nice pass up to Sullivan. Sullivan moving it over to Swain. Swain will walk in. Tries to move it over into the slot for Kidd, and he can't get there. And the Hunters will try and throw it down, but they'll get an icing. So the draw here in the Hunter zone. Kidd taking this one against Urquhart. Kidd wins it cleanly back to Bertram at the line. He'll take a shot, tipped in front, and another big save from O'Shaughnessy. Swift gaining possession. He'll move it. Boudreau now bringing it across red as he moves into the weak zone. Still in possession. Hit off that one, but Swift's there, and he'll backhand it down into the opposite corner of the week's end. McKenzie firing it up to Kidd. Kidd's got some speed. He'll cut back with it. Tries to play it over. A block pass there, and Swain goes for the toe drag. And the shot goes wide. Nice saucer to Kidd. And another big save from O'Shaughnessy, standing on his head in between the pipes for the Hunters. I wonder if we're going to see any playoff beards from the fellas out here. White taking the draw here for the Weeks in the Hunter zone. White wins it back to Tanner. Tanner moves it back to White. He's hit off that one. Still tries to play it in as Morris moves it. Tanner keeps it in. Nice move by Tanner. He'll walk in, and a blocker save from O'Shaughnessy. Urquhart around to play it out. And it's turned over to White into the slot. He'll take a shot. Rebounds alive in front and cleared out of the way. Kept in by Tanner. Now over for Pugsley. He'll lose that one. And the Hunters trying to clear it out. McIntosh is there, and we're going to get a call here, a penalty. And it looks like it's against Pugsley. So the Hunters, their first power play opportunity and a chance to take their first lead of the game in Game 1 of the playoffs. Sitting just outside of the ice there, you can see some of the AA Bantam fellas getting ready for the Memorial Tournament coming up this weekend at the Pictou County Wellness Center. Tune in to High Button Sports for those games. As the Weeks clear it down into the Hunter zone. Hunters in possession. Swift moving it up, and they'll dump it in. Sorhando out of the net to try and make a play here. He'll throw it around the boards, but it's kept in at the line. Over to Swift now. Swift handing it back over. Baldwin with a shot. That goes high. Cluett picking up the rebound. He'll try and play it in deep. Ludy's there. Ludy moving it to Baldwin, but that goes just over his stick, and Swift will chase back into his own zone. Played up to Cluett. Cluett, Urquhart, and Baldwin are in. Cluett hands it back to Swift at the line. Swift over to Baldwin. Baldwin looking for an option, moves it to Cluett on the other side with a shot there, and a blocker save. It almost rebounds back in, but Sorhando blocks that passageway and makes the save. One back by the Weeks. McEachran firing it down the length of the ice. A big clear there. O'Shaughnessy out of the net, waiting for Baldwin to get back. He'll leave it for him. Baldwin moving it to Ludy. Ludy trying to get past Frazier as he moves it to Baldwin. Baldwin back to Ludy. Ludy with it, who's been having a great defensive game thus far. See if he can turn over some offense. Urquhart to Baldwin. Baldwin down in deep. Morse in front for Urquhart. Cluett picks it up. Cluett in the corner, turns it over, and it's cleared out by Griffin McEachran. Down in behind, O'Shaughnessy. Leaving it off for Worth. Worth moving it. Back to Cluett. Cluett backhands it into the weak zone. McEachran back. McEachran uses the boards, tries to throw it out. Beliveau in the neutral zone now. Hands it back to Worth. Worth back to Beliveau. We're back to even strength here. A great kill from the Weeks as Frazier grabs it. Moves it to McEachran. McEachran crosses red and moves it to Sim, who tries to make his way into the slot. Sim is in. A shot there. Rebound is still out. And we're going to get a penalty here against the Hunters. For hooking, I believe it's Boudreau going for hooking, I believe it was. So Boudreau in the box for two. And the Weeks will set up here. In the Hunters' end, they'll have to do the face-off here again. Kid's been having some bad luck with the face-offs here tonight. I think that's his second or maybe even third face-off where he had to leave the circle. As Croft comes in and wins it back in between the Weeks defenders, and it'll slip back down into the Weeks end. Tanner dropping it off for McKenzie. McKenzie gives it to Kidd. Kidd has got some lethal hands and wicked speed as he walks in. Poked away by Worth, but it's up to the line for Tanner. Tanner takes a shot there. A big block from Beliveau, who will try and regain possession. Tanner back to grab it. He'll cross red and bring it into the Hunter zone. Avoids the hit there. Kidd plays it back into the corner for him. Hands it off for Conlon. Conlon around the back of the net. Coming in from a high school league. As that's one back, or excuse me, thrown back by the Hunters into the Weeks end. Sorhando coming way out of the net to try and get it to Tanner, and he will. Tanner moving it. Now Williams with it. He'll go the other way. Hands it up to Frazier. Frazier looking for an option to Williams. Back for Sim, and he scores! Ewan Sim with the big top right snipe. He'll make it 2-1 Weeks, and they have regained their lead as the rookie goes top shelf. What a goal from Ewan Sim. Putting Weeks up 2-1. A big goal here midway through the second. or just about midway. And we'll get a little bit of a tie up here at the dot. One back for the Weeks. McEachran taking some time in his own zone. He'll move it to McIntosh, and that one bounces off his stick. McEachran with it. Plays it over to Bircham. Bircham up for Eisner. Eisner walking in with it now. He'll take a shot, and it's blocked in front by Ludi. Who else but Ludi for the defensive plays here for the Hunters. Played in front. McIntosh regaining possession for the Weeks. He'll dangle his way around. We are back to 5-on-5 after that big goal there. McIntosh even down on one knee, still battling for it, but the Hunters will push through and get it to the neutral. Cluett trying to bring it in. He'll lose that one. McIntosh is back up, and he'll go the other way. Evan McIntosh will dump it into the corner, and the possession is regained, but then lost again. Beliveau picking it up. He'll play it out to the neutral for Bircham. Bircham taking his time. He'll move it up for White as that one bounces off his stick. Eisner's still trying to play it in. Big hit there from Green. He'll walk into the slot, and a shot goes wide up to the line for McEachran. He keeps it in, throws it in behind the net. Green to White. White up to Conlon with a shot there, and a big blocker save, pad save from O'Shaughnessy through traffic. I'm not even sure if he's seen that shot. Serhando moves it to Williams. Williams making a pass up, and Conlon can't get it on his stick. So it's back for Williams in his own zone. Making a play up. Conlon will tip it up high and in as Pugsley goes chasing after it. Move to Swift. Conlon skating his way into behind the Hunters' end. Trying to avoid Swift. He'll keep it as he moves it up to McKenzie. Conlon. Pass over to Williams. Williams walking in along the boards, tries to feed it to Conlon in the slot, but it goes off for McKenzie. McKenzie back over. McEachran with a shot, and it's covered up, and the play will be blown dead after a big save from O'Shaughnessy, who's had 25 shots thrown on him tonight thus far, as we're not even halfway through the second period. Draw in the Hunter zone. Kidd finally gets a draw without getting kicked out, as that one's back into the neutral for Tanner. Kidd trying to regain possession, but it's off for Boudreau, who throws it in. Move to Worth, Worth trying to get the puck on his stick, but he's getting some sticks flying at him. Sullivan hands it back for Tanner. Tanner moving it in for Croft, and Croft will tip it in high into the corner of the Hunter zone. Move back, Tanner's there to grab it in the neutral. He'll hand it back to Sullivan in his own zone. Tanner's done a great job of filling in for rookie Jack Cameron after a foot injury or an ankle injury, I'm not exactly sure. Hopefully he can return here within the postseason. But for now, Tanner is on the line with Sullivan, and he's doing a great job. Swain with the puck, waiting for his teammate to get onside. He'll get tripped up on that play, no call there, as Kidd walks in. Nice move there. It's back for Tanner as that one flips high. And the Hunters will move it out to the neutral. Boudreau grabbing it, going the other way now. Boudreau making a pass to Urquhart. Back in for Boudreau into the slot. Tanner shuts him down, but Martin's there. Rebounds alive. Conlon picking it up, and he'll go the other way. Tries to move it to Bircham. That goes over his stick. Urquhart picking it up in his own zone. He'll try and bring it through now. Frazier blocks that. Goes back for Tanner. Tanner to Bircham. Bircham to Sim, and that goes just a little too far ahead of him. He'll chase after it. Sim trying to play it around. Hunter's getting possession. It's moved up to Cluett, but McEachran gaining possession. He'll dump it back in. Big hit there from Sim as he tries to get the puck on his stick. Conlon trying to get him some help. A big hit there. No call on the play as Sim goes down hard. Weeks bench fired up about that one. As now Cluett tries to bring it in, and It'll be offside. And we're past the halfway mark here of the second period, so we'll get a quick minute break, and what a better time to have it, as I'm sure the Weeks bench will want to have a conversation here with the referees. We'll be back in just a moment for the second half of the second period. This is U18 playoffs on High Button Sports. And welcome back here, folks, after a short break. We're ready to resume the second half of the second period here. Weeks taking a 2-1 lead off of a beautiful snipe from Ewan Sim. And now the Hunters trying to come back and tie things up here. Cluett bringing it in, and he'll get put offside for the second time in the past, 20 seconds, I think. Gets a little jab there from Bircham. The draw will be held just outside the Weeks end. Draw one back by the Hunters, but it goes far back into their end. Swift there, moving in. Baldwin going the other way now. And it's turned over. White picking it up. Gets it over to McAkron, who couldn't get it fully on his tape. And that one will get cleared into the Weeks end by the Hunters. Bircham battling. McAkron will pick it up behind his net. Moves it up for White. White dangling around Beliveau as he fires it up. Pugsley chasing after it, but the Hunters will regain possession. Cluett's there. He'll move it. Played into the neutral. And it's moved over to Baldwin, who almost gets smoked there, but denies the hit. And now Williams moving it down, and that one's intercepted by Swift. A good defensive play there. Would have been a risky stretch pass for the Hunters. And that's dumped back into the Weeks end. Urquhart beating off the icing there. But Serrano comes out, moves it. Frazier now making his way in. Already won in this game. He'll walk in. Frazier. And the backhand shot goes wide and around the boards. McKenzie keeping it in at the line. Played up. McKenzie once again with it. Trying to throw it back in, but that one's poked away off his stick by Morris. Played into the slot for Frazier. Frazier working his way in. He'll take a shot. And it's covered up by O'Shaughnessy. Both teams will get some fresh legs out there. Draw in the Hunter zone. Kidd wins it back. Swain moves it to Sullivan. Sullivan with a shot from the line, and it's tipped in front and goes wide. Swain back there battling for it as he gets it over to the other corner for Kidd. Kidd with the puck now, and that's poked away off his stick. A good play there by Urquhart. Kidd back in his own zone, picking it up though. Kidd playing it into the neutral. He'll walk in. Kidd has built up some speed here, and that one's poked away by Ludi. Kidd picking it up again, moves it to Swain. And Swain will take a shot, and that one's almost tipped in, but it goes a little high as Croft had a close opportunity there. The Hunters clear it to the neutral. Sullivan getting it. Moves it to Tanner. Tanner back to Sullivan. Tyler Sullivan playing it in for Croft. That goes past his stick. Ludi in the corner to pick it up for the Hunters. Avoids the hit there Kept in by Tanner at the line. Tanner trying to walk in, avoiding the hit, gets it in for Kidd. Back to Tanner. And Ludi shuts him down and drives him into the corner. Tanner going for the wraparound. A big stop there from O'Shaughnessy. As now Boudreau going the other way. Played around for Croft as he tries to bring it to the neutral. Kept in by Worth. And now Sullivan. Back in his zone, plays it off the boards. A nice play there to Conlon. Conlon avoids the hit and gets it in to the Hunters' end where he'll chase after it. Gets hit there, but wrap around to Sim, and it's intercepted. Bertram keeping it in, moves it down and deep for Sim, in front for Bertram. And an in-between-the-leg shot, and a big save from O'Shaughnessy as Boudreau comes in to clear the crease. What an opportunity there for Sim and Bertram. Sim behind the net, making a pass like he does. That's his spot to set up plays. He gets it to Bertram in the crease, and Bertram goes for the in-between-the-legs shot and almost sneaks it in. But O'Shaughnessy was just a little bit quicker on it. Weeks win it back. McCachran at the line, moves it over to Bertram. Bertram down in the corner as Worth tries to get it, but Frazier's there. Frazier playing it in front for Sim, and he scores! Ewan Sim with his second of the game. What a goal from Ewan Sim as Frazier throws it into the slot. Sim picks it up and throws it back in behind O'Shaughnessy. Puts the Weeks up 3-1 late here in the second period. Hunters win the draw back. They'll play that one in. Sorhando coming out of the net to make a play. McKenzie moving it to White. White, he'll cross and bring it in, moves it over. A big shot there, and it goes wide as McIntosh tries to play it in. McKenzie gets a big hit from Cluett there. It goes back up to McKenzie, and that one sneaks out past him. Cluett, a heavy hitter out here for the Hunters, having a great game so far as well. McKenzie in the corner, moves it to Williams. Williams flipping it up. And it's back to McKenzie. He'll bring it into the neutral. Nice pass over there to White, but it's a little too far ahead. So into the corner, Ludi will go as he gets it to Baldwin. Baldwin trying to get it to Morris. It's intercepted. Swift comes in, walking into the slot, a shot. And it's into the glove of Sorhando. And he'll shut things down for the Hunters. Draw here in the weak zone. Kidd trying to win it back, and it goes up to the line and kept in by the Hunters. Morris down in the corner trying to regain possession, moves it. McKnight in front with a quick shot that was blocked. Now Conlon, look at the speed on him. He'll walk in. Conlon in the corner, goes for the wraparound and a quick shot there. Kept out by O'Shaughnessy. The spinorama, excuse me, not the wraparound. Tanner moving it to Sullivan in his own net. As Conlon tips it in for the Weeks, he'll head off for a change. As that's moved. Hunters in possession. Moved up to Morris. He's got a little bit of a stretch here. He'll walk into the Weeks end. A shot there. And a big shoulder save from Sorhando. That shuts down Morris. Up along the boards now. Eisner getting it out to the neutral. He'll cross red and dump it in deep into the Hunters zone. O'Shaughnessy getting around the back of the net. Fired up. Kalita tips that one into the Weeks end for the Hunters. Now Weeks in possession. Moving it down the length of the ice. Croft couldn't get fully on his stick. Swain's there. Back to Croft. Croft hit off that one, and Urquhart will pick it up as he moves it. Martin going the other way. Tries to pass it over to Boudreau, but that one goes a little bit far. Now in deep for Boudreau. He'll play it into the slot. Batting at it. Urquhart's in. A shot there, and another big save from Sorhando. A couple close shots for the Hunters. Now the draw here in the weak zone. One back by the Hunters as that goes down the length of the ice. Worth chasing after it. Worth behind his own net. He'll play it over to Boudreau. Boudreau in the corner, gets hit off that one, and it's moved to the other Boudreau. Walking in now, Urquhart makes a play over. A shot on net by Martin goes wide. Boudreau picking up the rebound. He'll try and play it back to Martin, and he'll keep it in at the line. Getting some pressure put on, gets it into Boudreau. A shot there, and a big pad save. Played in front, and Bertram tips that pass out of the way. And now here come the Weeks. Conlon moving in. He's got Kidd and Croft with him. Conlon over. And a big save there. How did he save that? O'Shaughnessy getting over post-to-post play and keeps that one out off the stick of Croft. Big save there late into the second period. Draw here in the Hunter zone. Baldwin will get kicked out. Cluett comes in. One back by Cluett. Frazier's in though, and he'll gain possession. Sim behind the net looking for an option. Cluett makes a hit on him, and now the Hunters trying to break it out. Cluett out in the neutral. He'll play it back for Swift. Swift moving it to Cluett. Cluett working his way into the weak zone with a shot there, and it's sticked away from Sorhando. Cluett another shot, and it's sticked away once again. Hunters turning some offense here late into the second. Beliveau playing it in front, and a big glove save from Sorhando, one of his best of the night. Both teams will get some fresh legs out there. As that one's played in for Sullivan behind his own net. Sullivan moving it up. Pugsley's there, and that one flips under his stick. He'll try and beat the icing, but he can't get there in time. So we'll go back down to the week's end. Draw here in the weak zone. One up to the line. Swift trying to keep it in, but that'll be offside. Draw here just outside the week's end now as the Hunters win it back. Trying to play this one in as it's dumped in deep. Sullivan getting back for it. Tanner in the corner. Trying to get that one out. Tanner still with it. It's played in front, and McKnight trying to get a shot off, but he's intercepted and hit down. Now McIntosh going the other way with just under a minute left to go. McIntosh in, a shot. Goes high, and he'll go hard into the boards. Up to Sullivan. Sullivan fans on that shot. And now it's a 2-on-1 for the Hunters. McKnight and clue it in, and a big shot there. Saved by Serhando. McKnight and Urquhart, excuse me, not Cluett. As they're shut down on that play. With 36 seconds left to go here. Weeks lead 3-1 in the second period. Draw here in the Weeks end. Playing that one through to Frazier. Frazier trying to split the D there, and we're going to get a penalty here against the Hunters. Frazier still with possession, a shot. Rebounds alive for Bircham, and that one goes wide. Green picking it up as Serhando is out of his net for the delayed penalty. Sim up at the line, and we're going to get another penalty here, it seems. Moved over to Bircham with a shot there and a blocker save. And Martin will touch it, and a late hit there from Bircham on Martin. So McCachran and Ludi heading to the box. Now I'm not sure if this will be 5-on-5 or it'll go down to 4-on-4. We'll have to wait and see here as the Weeks have a quick talk with the bench. Kyle McLennan and John Sim talking to the fellas before they head out there. So it'll be 5-on-5 with 4.3 seconds left. Draw one back by the Weeks. Move to McKenzie. He'll walk in with a slapper, and it's sticked away, goes high, and into the fans. We came into this period tied 1-1, but now the Weeks have a 2-goal lead, now sitting at 3-1. Shots 32-14 for the Weeks, as both teams will head back to their locker rooms and talk plans for the third period. We'll be back in just a moment with the final frame here on High Button Sports. This is U18 playoffs. And welcome back here, ladies and gentlemen. The third and final period of Game 1 between the Weeks and the Hunters is about to be underway. We came into the second tied up 1-1, but the Weeks came back and got a couple quick goals to take a 3-1 lead. Puck drop for the third period is about to be underway. And here we go. Fraser trying to push it through, but the Hunters now in possession. Hunters trying to bring it into the Weeks end. Battling for it in the neutral still. Along the front of the benches. Fraser and Baldwin. And that one's flipped out back to Sullivan in his own zone. Sullivan, a stretch pass up, and it's played in by Conlon. Worth back to pick it up in his own end. He'll fire it down. Kluwett's there. As the Hunters try and move it in, it's in for Kluwett, and a big shot there. Hits off the pad of Serhando. Going the other way now, Fraser trying to poke that one back, but the Hunters regaining possession. And now Sullivan in his own end, looking for an option. He'll flip it up into the neutral, and Conlon tips it in on net. And O'Shaughnessy will cover that one up. Boudreau in there for a late hit. The two Boudreaus making up for a good part of the Hunters' penalty minutes tonight, as they're into the greasy spots, clearing the crease and getting in the way of the Weeks as they try and extend their lead. Williams over to McKenzie, down in deep for Swain. Played in front, but it hits a stick, and now Martin will move it the other way. Played over and dumped back in. It's Boudreau with a shot there, goes high, and Williams with a big hit there along the boards. Boudreau, number 24, back into his own end for the Hunters. He'll get some pressure from Swain as Swain tries to gain possession here. Boudreau along the boards, battling with Kidd. It's up to the line, and it gets past Williams, and now Urquhart and Boudreau the other way. Urquhart playing it in. Boudreau lost his footing there as he goes diving towards the net, still trying to get the shot off, which was a little good effort there. Kidd now going the other way. He'll cross red and bring it in. Skating his way around, he'll go behind the net, tries to flip it in as it goes off the outside of the netting. Swift moving it. Urquhart picks it up off the boards. He'll go behind the net, it's turned over in front. Croft trying to slap it in. And O'Shaughnessy stops that one. So the draw here in the Hunters zone. McIntosh taking it for the Weeks here. Played up, and that one will go off the glass. Move back around, a big hit there from White as he tries to get the puck, and his stick goes flying out of his hands. Now the other way come the Hunters. Urquhart making a pass over to Morris, who tries to get it in. That one's dumped in deep to the Weeks end. The Hunters coming out flying here as they try and get back and tie things up before the third period ends. Another shot there from McCachran goes high, and it'll flip off the glass back down in to the Weeks end. Burcham behind Serhando. He'll take his time as he moves it out. Handing it over to White. White crossing into the neutral. He'll flip it up high and into the corner of the Hunters' end. Big hit there on Worth. Pugsley in front for Eisner, and a quick shot blocked in front by Boudreau. Sullivan up at the line, just keeps it in as he flips it back. Or it didn't stay in, excuse me, so the Weeks will have to clear out for the offside as that's thrown down the length of the ice into the Weeks' end. Now in the corner for Urquhart, who tries to play it in front. Tanner intercepts that pass. Tries to fire it up. It's kept in at the line. Urquhart turns it around, loses his footing there. And now the other way. Kidd racing after it. Gets past Baldwin. Into the corner, looking for a passing option. Tries to play it to Green. Now Worth picks it up. Battling forward in the corner. Kidd and Baldwin, as well as Worth. Moved around. Cluett trying to lay the body there. It's moved over to Baldwin. Baldwin playing it off the glass and out to the neutral. Beliveau racing for it. Trying to get past Sullivan, but Sullivan gets there first, and he'll have to battle for it. Sullivan moving it to Tanner. Tanner firing it up to Green. And now Sim will try and play it in, but that's intercepted. And Cluett chucks it back down into the weak's end where Sullivan will pick it up. Sullivan moves it to Frazier. Frazier dumping it off the boards. Still poking at it. Ludi gaining possession. Hill skated up into the weak's end. Ludi trying to go for the toe drag there. It's poked away. Now Conlon moves it. Kept into the line by Beliveau with a shot. That goes high and hits off the glass. Move back around chasing after it is Tanner, and he'll get there first before it goes in front for Baldwin. Now Conlon with it. Gets it over to Frazier. Frazier along the board, starting to play it out now. Into the neutral. Conlon in between the leg pass goes haywire and moves to Beliveau, who dumps it into the weak's end. Serhando, or excuse me, McKenzie gets it to Frazier. Frazier trying to play through for McKenzie, but he can't get that one in between the legs. Urquhart picking it up in between the boards and the net as that gets played back down into the weak's end. Hunter's doing a great job of keeping the Weeks at a standstill in their own zone as that's moved up to Frazier. Frazier moving it over. Swain walking his way in. Back for Frazier in the slot. A big shot there and a pad save from O'Shaughnessy. Now the other way, Martin playing it over to Urquhart. Urquhart drop pass to Swift. Swift over to Martin, and what a goal! Martin with the 1T makes it 3-2 for the Hunters. What a setup, what a play, and what a shot as the Hunters go up 3-2 off a beautiful 1T that goes top shelf from Martin. They cut the Weeks lead in half as the Weeks win it back off the draw, trying to push to regain a little bit of a cushion on their lead now. Played around to Morris. Morris trying to bring it out, but it's flipped back in. Blocked. Bertram back in his own zone, turns it over. McKnight picking it up. McKnight trying to play it back in, but Bertram's there and he'll pick it up in the corner. Bertram behind Serhando, moves it. McCachran playing it out now. And Kidd misses that pass. So Swain will pick it up for him and try and bring it back in. McKnight going the other way. He's got... And it's blocked in front. And now some pushing and shoving in front of Serhando as Kalita almost had a good chance there from Boudreau. Hunters came very close to tying things up there and upsetting the Weeks with their 2-goal lead as we head into the third. The draw here in the Weeks' end. As they try and play it out here, but Baldwin keeps it in, turns it over to Bertram. Now Bertram brings it out to the neutral. Beliveau intercepts that one and gets it right back into the Weeks' end. McCachran there, trying to play it out. He's hit off that one, but Bertram will play back and regain possession. Now Boudreau at the line with it. He'll flip it up high and in. Down in for Baldwin. Baldwin getting held along the boards there. He'll flip it around to the other corner where McIntosh for the Weeks will pick it up. McIntosh to Pugsley, and Pugsley flips it out to the neutral to give the Weeks a little bit of a breather here. Hunters won't let that happen for long as they try and get it back in. Burcham picking it up off of McCachran. Moved over to White, who skates his way into the Hunter zone along the right board. White circling back, getting some pressure put on him from Beliveau, trying to dangle his way in, and we're going to get a Hunters tripping call here, and the Weeks will head to the power play. As Boudreau will head back to the box here. Now the Weeks a chance to set things up. And regain that 2-goal lead. Sim taking the draw here against Martin. Sim trying to win it back, but Martin pushes through and almost clears it, but Burcham's there. Burcham playing it back in. Martin back, and he'll clear it as he's taken down by Burcham. The puck now in Williams' possession in his own zone. Williams circling around Serhando. He'll move it out. Swain crossing red. He'll bring it in. Hands it over to Frazier, but the puck gets caught up in the feet of the ref. And now Martin bringing it the other way. Serhando out of the net to play it around for Williams. Williams dropping it back to Burcham. Burcham in his own zone. Almost hit off that one by Martin, who's having a great couple of shifts here. Down in front of that, Burcham still trying to get out of the way of Martin and Boudreau. But now the other way, here comes Swain, dangling his way in. He gets pushed to the side by Ludius. His head goes into the boards there, but he's up and all right. Up to the line for Burcham with a quick shot there, and it's in! The Weeks score and regain their lead of 2 goals. I didn't see who tipped that one in. Looks like it didn't get tipped. Burcham from the line regains that 2-goal lead for the Weeks. What a goal there. Burcham's been throwing it from the line quite a few times tonight, and that one pays off and it fires in. And now we're going to get a penalty here and on sportsmanlike conduct against Swift. So Swift now in the box, who's a big factor in the Hunters defense. However, it will stay 5-on-5 as they bring Cluett off and put Martin back out. So now Weeks lead back up to 4-2 as the Hunters throw that deep into the Weeks end. Anything can still happen here. Playoff hockey can surprise you. Pugsley trying to move it up. And the Hunters will play it back in onto the net of Serhando. Sullivan picking it up. Makes the pass over to McIntosh in their own zone. McIntosh tries to get it over to White. It's turned over to Martin in front, who can't get there, and now we'll get a Weeks penalty. This one will be against Cohen Tanner. He'll head to the box here for hooking, I believe. So the Hunters a power play opportunity to try and cut this Weeks lead in half once again and come back into this one, but it's thrown down the length of the ice by McKenzie. Or Sullivan, excuse me. Ludi picking it up. He's bringing it into the neutral, picking up some speed. Ludi drops it back. Martin making a play over, but it's intercepted by McIntosh. Kept it at the line by Cluett. Cluett puts it in deep. Urquhart back to Ludi, back to Urquhart. Urquhart along the boards to Baldwin at the line, who keeps it in for Cluett with a shot, and it's sticked away by Sorhando. Along the boards now, and McCachran will clear it for the Weeks. A minute 15 left here on the Hunters power play. Ludi picking it up behind the Hunters net. He'll try and make a pass up. It's intercepted, and now the Weeks in possession. And McCachran will clear it once again for them. Ludi making a pass, Baldwin. Martin with it. He'll bring it into the Weeks end, but he's shut down, and Fraser throws it back the other way. O'Shaughnessy coming out of the net to try and play that one to Boudreau, which he will. Now Boudreau playing that one to Urquhart, who walks in. He'll cut around wide and hand it back to the line. Martin with a shot there and a big shoulder save. Another shot for Martin. Tips wide and goes to the opposite corner. A big hit there from Bertram as he regains possession and throws it down the length of the ice. And Cluett is slow to get up, but he's back up on his feet, and he'll head to the bench. Hunters in possession. 24, Boudreau moves it to Baldwin. Baldwin making his way in. Looking for a pass, makes it into the slot, and Croft intercepts that and throws it down back into the Hunters' end as we're back to 5-on-5 here. So that'll be an icing. And Cohen Tanner thought he beat that one off, but it'll be an icing against the Weeks, and we're halfway through the third period here, so we'll take a quick 1-minute break, and we'll be back in just a moment with the last half of this final frame. And welcome back here, folks. After a short break, we're back and ready to play the second half of this final period between the Weeks and the Hunters. Draw here in the Weeks zone, and they'll get possession. Bertram getting it. He moves it to Croft. Croft working his way in, looking for a pass, and that's intercepted by McKnight in the corner now. Hunters gaining possession. Swift working his way out of the zone. He'll move it into the neutral while Williams will pick it up. Williams to Bertram. Bertram hands it back for Williams. Williams picks up some speed. He'll walk in, but it's poked away there by Kalita. And now into the corner, Ludi. That one's flipped up high. Bertram kicking it. It'll be offside against the Weeks, so they'll clear the zone, and the Hunters will take their time. As Ludi has it, he moves it out to the neutral. Ludi making his way in, and he'll dump it off the boards. McKenzie chasing. He'll get it in the corner. McKenzie, stretch pass up to Green. Green's walking in now. He's got a little bit of room. Hands it back for Croft, and that's a big blocker save there from O'Shaughnessy. Up to the line, Sullivan makes a 1-tee shot, and it hits the back of Kidd, and Kidd gets in there, and now he'll do some pushing. Refs break that one up as they've been... Oh, And Kalita with another late hit there, and the rest will have to blow the whistle again. Now the draw here in the Hunters zone. White taking it against Baldwin. Baldwin wins it back. 24 Boudreau moving it around. Hits off the ref's leg and stays behind O'Shaughnessy. Hunters with possession, move it out. Baldwin flipping it past Burcham, and he'll get it in for Cluett. Walking in, and it's sticked away by Sorhando. Cluett getting his own rebound off the Weeks, and he's taken down, and we're going to get a Weeks penalty here. Looks like McCachran will head to the box here.
There's been an incident I'd like to talk about.
Refs talking things over. I think I heard John Sim from the Weeks bench yell over, and he wants to have a little chat with them. And I think I just seen the ref put a 4 up, so this might be a 4, and it will be a 4-minute power play for the Hunters. A great opportunity to try and come back with just 7 minutes left here in the third. Hunters win it back. Baldwin at the line. Moving it over to Ludi. Ludi having a look. He'll take a shot, and it's covered up by Sorhando. Weeks bench, the coaches there, Kyle McLennan and John Sim, visibly not happy about this penalty at such an important time late in this game. But the Hunters will for sure take this one. Weeks cleared it there. Ludi's back in his own zone to try and bring it back through, getting past White. Ludi making his way into the corner, and he's hit off by Sorhando, and the Weeks will clear it once again. Martin in his own zone, picking it up. Looking to get his second of the game. Baldwin moves it back to Martin. Martin, a nice pass up to Urquhart, who tips it into the Weeks end and chases after it. But Sullivan will get there, and he'll try and flip it out. Baldwin keeping it at the line. Moves it over to Martin. Martin over to Cluett. Cluett avoiding the block there from Sullivan. Moves it to Ludi, who fans on the shot. And it's cleared once again by Burcham. O'Shaughnessy moving that one to Cluett. Cluett to Beliveau, and that pass gets tipped in front by Frazier, and it'll go haywire. And now the Weeks in possession. Sullivan throwing it down the length of the ice. 2:39 left on the Hunters power play. Boudreau trying to get this one out. He'll get it to the neutral and dump it in. And a big hit there by Frazier. Sullivan trying to backhand this one out of the corner. He'll have to battle for it. Now Weeks in possession. Frazier going the other way. He's got Sim with him. Sim and Frazier short-handed walking in. And that'll be offside. And we'll get a whistle here with 5:13 left to go. And now Frazier, I think, is getting a penalty here for unsportsmanlike conduct. So the draw just outside the Hunters zone. Although Ethan Frazier got a penalty there, it'll stay 5-on-4 as it was a unsportsmanlike conduct. So he'll be in there for the remainder of the game. Draw one back by the Weeks. McKenzie gets it down in where Boudreau will pick it up in his own zone. Flips it up to Beliveau, and McKenzie clears it once again. A minute 57 left to go here on the Hunters power play. Now going the other way, Boudreau bring it into the Weeks end. He gets hammered into the boards by Williams. And McKenzie will try and rip it around the board. Worth is there to keep it in. Flip back out to McKenzie, and he'll skate it out to the neutral. McKenzie walking in with the back at you hit. White picks it up, moves in towards the net, and it's poked away by O'Shaughnessy. Worth getting it in his own zone. He gets a slash to the hand there. Refs didn't pick that one up. Worth in his own end, looking for an option. McIntosh is watching closely. A minute 14 left on the Hunters power play. Worth moving it to Cluett. Cluett working around Green. He'll bring it in to the Weeks end. Cluett with some speed, a toe drag. He's in, and a big save there from Sorhando. It's back for Urquhart. Urquhart up to the line for Ludi. Ludi over to Baldwin, tries to play it into the slot. McIntosh gets it, and he'll clear it down the length of the ice. O'Shaughnessy out of his net gets it to Ludi. Ludi, a stretch pass up to Martin. Martin walking his way in. He'll try and dump it, but Sullivan's there. And Sullivan will clear it once again for the Weeks. 30 seconds left on the power play for the Hunters. Moving it up is Martin. He'll bring it into the Weeks end. Sullivan lays the body there and turns it over to Burcham, but Cluett's in there battling for it. Martin gets it up to the line for Baldwin, and we're going to get a stoppage in play as I believe the net came off. Yes, it did. Okay. Unfortunate there for the Hunters, as it looked like Baldwin is about to let one go. 14 seconds left here on the Hunters power play, mind you, as this draw goes outside of the weak zone. Now the ref seems to be having a talk with Ludi at the bench. He'll skate away. And the Hunters win that back. Worth fans on the dump, and Sullivan gives it right back to him. Worth trying to get it in, but Croft intercepts that, gets it back to Sullivan, and Sullivan will clear, and the Weeks have killed off the 4-minute penalty kill. Boudreau working his way out now. Just under 3 minutes left to go here. They'll dump that one in. Sorhando playing it off the boards for Conlon. Conlon flipping it, but it's going to be a battle for it along the boards as it goes back. Boudreau trying to lay the body. He'll go down. Kidd working it over. Played in front, and what a save from O'Shaughnessy. Another shot there from Conlon. And that one exits out. The big stretch save there as O'Shaughnessy shuts down Conlon and Kidd. Behind the net now for Williams. He'll move it out. Now working the other way. Tanner with a toe drag there. He's shut down. Kalita trying to get that one in, but now the Weeks have turned it over. Ludi getting it in his own end, trying to dangle his way through the opposition. Ludi skating his way into the Weeks end, trying to get it across for Kalita, and that one goes wide. Now Croft the other way. He'll walk into the slot, a little forehand backhand there, and that one goes wide off the backhand for Croft. Now the other way, Baldwin couldn't reach that one. 1:35 left in play. Up along the boards, McIntosh tipping it out into the neutral, where Pugsley will battle for it. And now here comes Cluett dangling his way in. He's got Baldwin. Over to Baldwin with a shot. Rebounds alive in front, and Sullivan will pick it up. Sullivan flipping it off the boards. Baldwin in front, gets it in for Cluett, and they score! Cluett makes it 4-3 with a little over a minute left to go here Now the Hunters just one goal off of tying things up with a minute left to go here. I'm sure if they gain possession, we're going to see O'Shaughnessy racing for the net, or maybe they'll pull him now. They'll call a timeout here. Both teams talking over their final plays for the final minute of this game. They only get 30 seconds for their timeouts. Hunters now just one goal away from tying things up and sending this game to overtime. A minute 9 left to go here. O'Shaughnessy getting ready to race to the bench. And the Weeks looking to shut the Hunters down and take the first win in game 1. Puck is dropped. Weeks trying to get this one back. Pluitt's in there. And now White will grab it and bring it into the Hunters zone. He'll hold this one and slam it in behind the net. Swift with possession. Pluitt brings it across red. Tries to play it in. Hunters with possession. O'Shaughnessy not sure if he should go. Martin with it. Martin will dump it in. O'Shaughnessy racing towards the bench. Weeks in possession. Sullivan throws it down the length of the ice. And Swift will get back for it. 6-on-5 for the Hunters. 30 seconds left. Swift moving it to Ludi. Ludi crossing red. He'll bring it over to Martin. Martin will dump that one in. And it's offside, unfortunately, for the Hunters. 18 seconds left. They fire it down the length of the ice, and it's just off. And we'll get an icing here with 13.9 seconds left to go. Hunters with just 13 seconds to tie things up. Battle for it off the draw. McIntosh will throw it down the length of the ice. McIntosh racing for it. 6 seconds left. Swift is there, trying to gain possession. 3, 2, 1. And the Weeks take the first game of the playoffs. And the ref trying to keep the Weeks from going to celebrate with their goalie. But now they'll be allowed to. Weeks take the first win. Game 1 in this best of 3 5-game series. Or best of 5 3-win series, excuse me. An exciting game. Hunters almost came back there. But the Weeks defensively held them back. An exciting game. Lots of big goals and big plays from both sides. O'Shaughnessy getting a whopping 39 shots on him. And he saved 35 of those. A great game for him. Sorhando facing 23 shots. He saved 20. So these guys will meet again on the 7th in Cole Harbor. And then they'll come back and play at the Pictou County Wellness Center on the 8th. We'll see you for those folks.